The call came during night rotation, when the desert was quiet enough to hear your own thoughts whisper back. "Dad," my son's voice cracked through static. "He hurt me again." My heart stopped mid-beat. Then another voice, older, cruel, soaked in arrogance, grabbed the phone. "You heard the boy. My brothers run this town. You're a soldier 1,000 miles away. You can't do a damn thing." Click. I sat there for a full minute, staring at the sandstorm outside the tent, the radio humming faintly in the background. The air smelled of gun oil and heat. My hands didn't shake, but my mind did. When I walked into my commanding officer's office, I said 5 words. "He hurt my son again, sir." He studied me for a long time. Then he stood up. "Go," he said quietly. "Take the whole damn team. You're going on emergency leave. No paperwork, no questions, just understanding." The flight home was 17 hours, long enough to drown in thought. My ex-wife had remarried a man named Riker, local businessman, small-town royalty with a dirty smile, the kind of man who hides his bruises under cologne and fake charm. I'd warned her about him once. She told me I was paranoid, that deployment had changed me. Maybe it had. When I landed, I went straight to my son's school. He wouldn't meet my eyes. His arms were covered. He said it was from falling off his bike, but I saw the shape of fingers on his skin. That night, I sat in my truck outside her house. Riker's truck was there, lights on, curtains closed. My boy's window glowed faintly. I waited. I listened. I remembered every room, every creak in those floors. The betrayal wasn't just his violence, it was her silence. She knew, and she chose to stay. That realization burned deeper than any wound I'd taken overseas. I didn't storm in, I planned. Soldiers don't react, we calculate. Over the next 2 days, I recorded everything. Photos, audio, school reports, hospital records that disappeared under her new last name. When she finally called me, her voice was brittle. "You can't just show up like this. You'll make things worse." Worse? I almost laughed. She was worried about appearances. The town adored Riker. The church donations, the charity dinners, the perfect family. I pretended to agree. "You're right," I said softly. "I'll back off." But I didn't. Instead, I called in 2 favors. Not military, personal. Men I trusted with my life. They flew in that night, quiet and invisible. We surveilled him like an enemy combatant. Patterns, contacts, every step he took was documented. By the 3rd night, I had enough to bury him socially, legally, morally. But evidence wasn't what I wanted. I wanted him to feel something deeper. Helplessness. The same word he'd thrown at my son. When I confronted my ex-wife, it wasn't rage that spoke. It was precision. I placed the photos on her kitchen counter, the ones of her husband meeting a judge behind a bar, paying him, the hospital forms he'd shredded, the hush money to teachers who'd seen bruises. Her face drained of color. "Why didn't you call me?" I asked. Tears filled her eyes. "I thought he'd stop." "He said if I told you he'd—" "Kill you?" I cut in. "You think I'd let that happen?" She broke down. I didn't comfort her. Some truths don't deserve tenderness. Then I handed her a phone. "He'll call soon. Just listen." Right on time, Riker's voice came through. Drunk, angry. "Where's the boy? I'm coming for him." I watched her expression freeze as another voice cut in, one of my men, calm, deadly. "You won't be coming anywhere, Riker. We're done here." The line went dead. She looked at me. "What did you do?" I met her eyes. I ended it. We didn't kill him. That would have been mercy. We erased him. Within 48 hours, his business licenses were revoked, his accounts frozen under federal investigation. His brothers, those so-called untouchables, arrested for laundering and trafficking. Every thread he pulled had been tied into a noose of his own making. The last thing I heard from him was a voicemail, voice shaking. "You did this! You ruined me! I'll—" Click. No, he wouldn't. He was already ruined long before I arrived. I just sped up the process. My son sleeps peacefully now. No nightmares, no late-night phone calls. Sometimes, when I check on him, I still hear the echo of that first call, the broken whisper of, "Dad, he hurt me again." But it doesn't haunt me anymore. It reminds me why I left the desert that night, why some wars are fought in living rooms instead of battlefields. My CO called last week. "You coming back?" he asked. "Soon," I said. But the truth is, I won't. I've seen what real monsters look like. They don't carry rifles or wear uniforms. They kiss your kids goodnight. And sometimes you have to become something darker to make them disappear. Justice isn't what you ask for. It's what you take when the world stops listening.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.